Hello and welcome to the UnDateable Me Podcast. I am your host, the undateable Jimmy Lee Lard, the sock snob. And this is our weekly show that deals with the struggles of relationships and dating. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus, but we's back now. And I, of course, have with me the wonderful, the fabulous Hollie DaBeamer. Yes, indeed. Well, we don't just talk about problems around here. Oh, no. We are on a journey to find solutions, and we do it in a very entertaining way. Look at what Hollie got on. What is that? Leopard.
Zebra.
Oh, yeah, it is more zebra than leopard. Okay, what? I don't know. I don't know my animals. What I do know is that we have a new book out.
Yay!
Yes, that's right. So we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be working through a lot of stuff using this book. So I hope everybody grabs a copy of Speak Life and Live Full. Speak Life and Live Full. We're going to talk more about it. But today, on this particular episode, we are asking a very simple question, and that is, are you waiting on somebody to complete you? Are you waiting on somebody to complete you? Let's go.
I see you hanging around, but I don't have much to say to you. Don't know what you're waiting for. Guess you think I'm playing with you. Ever since you walked out my door, I changed the locks on me. There ain't nobody getting I'm doing fine by myself, and I like it. I've been doing things by myself. You should try it. When we was together, how the did you have me gone? Now I'm by myself, and it feels good to be alone. Come on.
We are back.
We back.
Hey. Listen, it's been too long. So everybody, I've been getting question after question like, when is the podcast coming back? What happened to the podcast?
Not y'all looking for a real nigga.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I can't take her nowhere. So yes, that's because we've been busy. Hollie and I have put our blood, sweat, and tears into a book for you all. It's not for us. We did not have to write this for us. Listen, you hear us on here. I think we did give good advice on this show,
so too.
Right? And we do it in a very entertaining way. We didn't lie about that. That's how we, do things around here. But we decided to pack all of that into this book. And it's actually a workbook. So it's a journal workbook, if you will. We'll call it a guided journal. There's a lot of stuff in here. And you'll see it's beautifully done, by the way. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it just gorgeous?
I love it.
We say it's culturally affirming. In other words, full of Black people.
For us, by us.
For us, by us. Every darn page, almost, I think actually every page does have a Black person on it, whether it's something small in the little journal section or these full-fledged ads. You know what? This dude right here is AI generated, but he is fine. I need him to be real. I would date him.
I was going to say, he looked like somebody I hadn't seen before.
All these people are just AI generated. I just worked with AI and I kept working with it until we got the people we needed. But let me tell you why this book is important. So it's called Speak Life and Live Full. Affirmations and Soul Work for Leveling Up in Life. And basically what it is, so aside from a lot of affirmations just to kind of help you with your journey and, give you those daily reminders of where you should be or what you should be focused on. It also has some journal work in here as well. And we're trying to force you to dig deep and sort of get to those solutions that you need.
Right.
Because sometimes we don't even understand. If I'm going to use a gardening reference, because I do a lot of gardening. Well, not anymore because I live on the top floor.
Penthouse, moving on up.
But prior to that, I've always been a very avid gardener. And weeds pop up in your yard. And there are a couple things that are misunderstood about weeds. So this is going to be a gardening lesson for you, and you'll see how it relates to real life as well. Weeds, first of all, the part that's misunderstood is that anything can be a weed. A weed, I always tell people, a weed is just a flower you didn't plant. A rose can be a weed if it's in your way. If you planted a whole bed of hydrangeas and a rose popped up in the middle of it, you didn't want it there, and it's interfering with this beautiful hydrangea garden you just created,
Right.
that rose is a weed. Just about every weed flowers. So if you planted, for instance, even something that we get sick of, dandelion, something so common, but they
Right.
do have a pretty yellow flower on it. And if you planted a field of nothing but dandelions and they're in bloom, it's so pretty, right? So a weed is just something you didn't plant. But in either case, whether it's a weed or anything else, you can't get rid of it just by cutting off the top. You can't get rid of it just by, mowing over it. It's going to keep growing back unless you get to the root. So if you don't pull that whole, like our grandma used to have us doing on our hands and knees, pulling weeds, and if we didn't pull it by the whole root, she would make us go back. Go back, get that root, or whatever. So you have to get to the root of your problems. If you are just putting Band-Aids over stuff, that problem is still there. So I say all the time, listen, your problems refuse to be ignored. Pain refuses to be ignored. Struggle refuses to be ignored. It's going to rear its face, and it's going to come out in an ugly way, whether you are lashing out at people that you love, whether you are finding yourself in bad financial situations or whatever, bad marriages and all the other things.
Right.
It has a voice, and you can drink it away, try to drink it away. You can try to eat it away. I think I eat my problems. You can try and sex it away, drug it away, whatever. It is not going anywhere until you get to the root of the problem. And oftentimes, the root of the problem is way back in childhood.
And kind of working through this, I felt like that too.
Oh, yeah.
And the
idea is to make you realize that the stuff that you're dealing with, the surface issues,
Right.
But there's something, that's the same, when they say some people get out of a bad relationship and jump right into a worse one or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you haven't figured out what keeps attracting you to this type of person or whatever, you know what I mean? So that is what this book is designed to think about it this way, because sometimes we don't always realize just how deep our problems run and how many problems we have that stem from that. It could be the smallest thing. Think about, say for instance, I'm gonna make up a story and a name. So we'll say this is 1991. We got a little kid, maybe 12, 13 years old. We'll name him Kevin. You like to name Kevin? Is that all right?
That's cool.
Okay, cool. Jordan, Kevin is okay? All right, Jordan is engineering the session. He said he's okay with Kevin. So little Kev did really good in school, right? Mm-hmm. And his mother says, you know what? You got straight A's again. I know I haven't been able to help you out, but you know what? I'm going to take you and buy, I think Jordans came out around that time. So I'm going to buy you these new Jordans all these little kids are, talking about. So he's all excited, right? I mean, she's, said, hey, we'll go this weekend. We're going to get you those Jordans. And he's so excited. He's telling kids at school, I'm getting the new Jordans and blah, blah, blah. And, you got some haters in every class, you ain't getting no damn Jordans or whatever, right?
Get the milk shacks.
Right?
Milk shacks.
When I was young, I don't know what they had when you were coming up. When I was that age, they had the most generic, unwanted shoe a bitch could have were called Pro Wings back then. They sold them at Payless.
Good old Payless.
And I remember my mother sent my father with me to sent my father to get some shoes, and he came back with some Pro Wings. She said, James,
Not
baby.
had to call that man
said-
by his government.
She said, baby, she said, your son gonna get talked about in them shoes or whatever. But anyway, so, so like I said, he's all excited. And the weekend finally rolls around. He probably didn't even eat his cereal that morning. He was so excited. So they make it in the Foot Locker, and all the little associates are dressed in the little referee uniform. So,
Right.
So they tell him what they're looking for. They want the Jordans, And, my son, he did real good on his report card, so I'm going to get on these Jordans. And the referee looked down at his shoes like, yeah, he ready for some shoes because those are through, right? So he's all excited. He gets, to try them on, and he's, walking around the store in them, and the referee is like, you want to wear them out? Yeah, I'm going to wear them out. So he was like, well, I'll put your old shoes in the box. Throw those away. I don't even want to
Right.
throw them in the trash. We good. We done, right? So they then, get to the register, and she hands him her credit card. Bitch declines.
I'd have whooped
So
her
he's
ass.
sitting there. You as Kevin?
I told my mama ass up.
No.
You'd have me walk around
But
in
you
this
know
store
what?
with these shoes on.
So let me give you, let's add to this. So Kevin sees the look on his mother's face, and maybe she even said, you know what, here, try this card instead, or
Right.
whatever. That bitch declined too. Kevin is seeing the look of disappointment on his mother's face.
Right.
He understands
Right.
because, he knows she's struggling.
intentions was good.
Whatever. The intention was good. And, she kind of looks at him like, baby, I am so sorry. I'll get you the shoes next week. I'm sorry. I thought I was able to swing it, but apparently not,
Right.
Discover and Visa had other plans this morning, So he has the embarrassment of seeing his mother in the middle of this store with both of her credit cards declining. Now he has to go back to school on Monday, not wearing the shoes he's told everybody he's about to wear. So
Right.
there's some embarrassment there. Then you got the added point of the hater in the class. I told y'all his ass wasn't getting no new shoes or whatever. You know what I mean? So
Right.
now, imagine how that one moment, even if he ended up getting the shoes the following weekend, imagine how that one moment then impacts the rest of his life.
Right.
It could be, he unnecessarily spends money on stuff just to make sure
prove,
that,
right.
People don't see him as less than poor or whatever. It could be him, think about all the missed opportunities. Maybe there were women he was interested in speaking to and, whatever. But he's like, man, I can't talk to her dressed like this, and missed opportunities. Mm-hmm. Think about the financial issues he might have, maybe trying to wear stuff that he can't afford to impress people when there might be other things more pressing in his life at that time.
Right.
Think about,
He could be even making a lot of money and scared, trying to hold on to it, scared that
Absolutely.
he don't want to be like how his mom was.
Yep. And on top of that, so sometimes you have good things that come out of
Yeah.
it. But then we also think about, as far as some of the bad things that have come out of this one incident, what happens then when he has kids?
Right.
Couple things happen there. Now he, I believe we have raised a generation of let me not bash people on here.
Yes. Weak as hell.
Okay, it's not the same. They're not built the same, but it's our fault. We coddled these little bastards.
We did.
We wanted them to have better than we did. We didn't even let them little bastards play outside.
Yeah.
We were outside all day.
All day long.
There were times when I got in trouble for coming in the house.
Yep.
So
You come in, you stand.
right, we had a generation. Well, they were shooting when I was a little kid. They started the drive-bys when I was a kid. So, so we were overprotective, overbearing. trying to, giving them too much. And now we got them. Oh, baby, listen. I saw a girl. She was on TikTok or something complaining about having to work 40 hours a week and having to commute 30 minutes each way to work, and she just can't find time to have a life and all of that. And we're like, girl, if you don't sit your ass down with them weak ass problems, So imagine now Kevin, raising kids. Is he now instilling, values that don't matter? Like you always, make sure you all together before you go outside. Or what? Listen, let me tell you something.
I've seen that firsthand.
I've had a period of time where I dressed quite well. And
Mr. Robert Grant.
Expensive clothes that I didn't need or whatever. Let me tell you something about me. I don't give a damn about what people think about what I look like, what I say, no apologies over here, unless I said something stupid and didn't mean it, whatever. But it is what it is. I don't care what people think, because your thoughts don't make my rent go up or down at all. So why am I worried about what people think? Your thoughts don't pay my bills, so it don't matter. But imagine Kevin, though, from that one incident, that one situation where he watched the look of disappointment on his mother's face, where he was about to cry in the store. And could you imagine if one of his friends just happened to be in the store shopping and they saw it? Kevin mama credit card, they cut her shit up in the store, because back then they used to cut your card up.
The referee man having to go back in the garbage after you told him to throw the bitches away.
Right. So imagine all of that.
Yeah, it plays a part.
Yeah. So now when you're trying to work through whatever you're dealing with in life, if you don't make it back to that day when you were in that store and your mama's credit card got declined, then everything else is just a Band-Aid.
Right.
So the Band-Aids can sometimes be pretty, but nonetheless a Band-Aid. So we are trying to get to the root of problems with this. So basically it'll give you some affirmations, and then from there it will start going into some journal questions for you to answer. Because sometimes, when it comes to journaling, if all you have is a book with blank pages, it's hard for you to kind of focus that energy in the places it needs to go. Sometimes we need a little guidance, and that's what this does.
Right.
So,
and that's the part that I think that I took to the most, because you hear people all the time say, "Oh yeah, I write in my journal." I'm just not one of those people. I can write some stuff down, but as far as like reflecting on it and like you said, having a direction to go, this book is really great because it gives you certain topics on certain things that you might not even thought of, that you didn't even think was a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it kind of and it sits there and it makes you think like, oh dang, this, I didn't even think about it this way. You know what I mean?
Sometimes we don't know the questions to ask ourselves in order to dig deeper.
To even to get those type of questions. Yes.
Agreed. So we're going to be working through this book on the series. By the way, you see, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, we do have other books on the table, but this is the one that we're going to be working through, the Speak Life and Live Full. It comes in both hardcover and paperback. And like I said, this book has beautiful imagery all throughout. So, particularly for I'm going to put this out here. We love black women around here. And you will see the majority of almost every picture in here, is, beautiful black women.
Say it again, Jimmy.
Beautiful
what do we love?
Black women. We love black women, So it has never been a secret to me in all of my years in entertainment or whatever, in different avenues and aspects, that the majority of the folks who tune into me, who connect with me, there go my man again, who connect with me, where he at though, who connect with me are in fact black women. So I make no secret about. I don't care if Jordan over here is offended that Hollie and I are writing predominantly for Black women. There's a book on the table right there. Now that one is one by me called "Girl Don't Be No Fool: 25 Ways to Tell If He's Cheating."
Yeah.
I got people thinking I'm the op out here. I don't give a damn. I wrote what I wrote because I know who watches and listens to me and supports me. So,
in the great
no
words
apologies.
of Nene Leakes, I said what I said.
Okay. And then in the great words of Sheree, who gonna check me, boo?
Who gonna check me, boo?
Right. So if you can, the book is available on Amazon. Make sure you grab a copy,
Yes.
whether it's the paperback or the hardcover. They are both beautiful books. So $29.99 for the hardcover, $19.99 for the. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
$19.99
for the
for
soft.
so for the paperback.
Paperback.
Softcover. Yep. So. Today we are asking a question at the beginning of the show. We talked about, which is, by the way, the very first. This book covers 12 different areas of your life.
Right.
And we're going to be working through those areas because if we are out here trying to either get into a good and healthy, successful relationship, or we're trying to maintain a good, healthy, successful relationship.
Yeah.
You got to work on your stuff. I'm going to stop cursing for the rest of the video, just in case we can use some of this shit for advertising. Okay? But you have to work on
You do.
yourself. And the very first chapter deals with finding love. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And it's this misnomer, this thing that we hear people say all the time, like, you complete me. Didn't Whoopi Goldberg had a book that was titled, if he says, I complete you or something, run, okay? Let me tell you, if you are waiting on somebody to complete you, that in itself is simply saying that you're not complete, you are not whole.
Right.
Here's the thing. Don't go jumping into a relationship if you're not whole, if you're not complete. That is one problem why a lot of our relationships don't work so well, is because I'm struggling to open this damn page. So there we go. And it wasn't the page
Good
we
fresh
anyway.
material.
So, there we go. So we're not working on ourselves. We talked about this in season 1.
Yeah.
Where you got to work on yourself before you can start bringing your issues, your baggage into a relationship,
Yep.
right? So that's what this is about. So the very first affirmation in this book, and the way the book is kind of set up is that we did an affirmation right up front that kind of guides the whole rest of the journey for that chapter.
Yeah.
And this particular one says, I am already whole and deserving of love. We get into a space, Hollie, where we think we don't deserve somebody good. So, ain't nobody else gonna love me, so I go ahead and stick with
We
Ray
get
Ray
comfortable.
with all his damn issues and everything else, right? So, yeah, absolutely. You stuck with Ray Ray ass forever.
And I don't think people say that like out loud.
Oh,
or
no, not at
they
all.
don't. You know what I mean?
They
It's
live it.
Yeah.
They embody it.
Yeah.
So they don't have to say it.
And they
So-
don't realize it's a problem.
Right. Yep. So, the key in this is, like I said, that idea that I'm already whole. And even if you are still working through stuff, I don't need somebody to complete me.
Right.
I can have you add to my already great self.
Right.
But if the problem with you completing me, well, what happens when you walk away, or if you leave, or if you cheat, or you do something
Right.
that I have no control over? Because I can't control you and what you do, right? So then I'm half a person again. You
Exactly.
and I, not Jimmy.
And I think I didn't realize this until after I was married. I think God was just like, bitch, I'm tired of you and all this bullshit.
No,
I'm just going ahead and give you one. You got lucky.
No. We're going to stop right there because God did not say bitch, first of all.
Right.
And he
I'm
didn't
sorry,
say,
God.
actually, that's probably not true. Because if we created in his image, I know I cuss. So God got to cuss.
God was tired of me.
Right.
God was just like, girl, just go on
Right.
about your business. You
Yep.
tried. Here you go.
And the same way that God gives us grace continually, we have to give some grace to ourselves.
Yeah.
So, we're not expecting you going into this or even after you finish this to be a perfect person. If you believe you're going to be perfect by the time you reach the 12th chapter of this book, you are wrong. You are incredibly wrong. We haven't had a perfect person in a very long time if you believe in scripture and all of that. So Jesus has been going a long time. Okay. So, but to think that you are half a person or part of a person or whatever, no, ma'am, that's not going to work. You need to go into a relationship believing that you're a whole. Before you ever even start looking, you need to start working on those things that are impacting you. So again, I am already whole and deserving of love. We have a lot of folks, I'm getting old. A little bit.
Just a little bit.
My birthday is coming up, by the way. So, and I've seen a lot of stuff over the years. I've seen a lot of people who don't have this mentality going into a relationship.
Right.
And I hate to say it, but more than not, it's the women who fall into this particular issue.
And because we set the tone.
Hello. Little do y'all know y'all got all the control, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Y'all ain't ready for that. We'll talk about that later. But cookie control. But anyway, so a lot of times I'll see women go into a relationship and become dependent on a man, particularly financially sometimes.
Yeah.
There's a lot less standards out here these days, but there are all these different ways where, you find yourself being controlled and she starts eliminating your friends and,
Right.
all the things, right? Whereas if you can't do that to a whole person, a person who is, kind of have their stuff together. And here's the funny thing. The men don't even try in most cases when it's that.
Because they already know what they up against.
Yep, they know who they can play.
Exactly.
So, and it goes vice versa. So if there are men watching, gay couples, whatever, that dynamic exists in all types of relationships. So
family,
And we don't even want to talk about that. I should have said this when we started this podcast last year, whenever it was. Almost everything we talk, minus the sex stuff. If you having sex with your family, that's a bigger, deeper issue.
Yeah,
but
we can't help you.
We can't help you with that.
Sorry.
So, but all the same stuff applies to family because let me tell you, blood don't always treat you the way you need to be treated either. So you have to be on the lookout for that. But again, we start with the affirmation that says, I am already whole and deserving of love. When I say I'm already whole, you have to give yourself some credit.
Right.
You give yourself some credit for the time you spent in school to get your degree. The time it took for you to go back and get your GED. Or whatever, right? So,
I did.
So and celebrate it, right? So the fact that you have your own place, the fact that you have your own car, your job, you pay your own bills or whatever. Celebrate in the book. Me and Hollie can be a little ignorant sometimes. And in the book, we say, hey, sometimes you just celebrate the fact that your kids don't stink. Whatever it is.
Yeah, the small things.
The small things, right? So don't, make sure you give yourself your credit that is due. I know some people who are amazing people, but they don't give themselves credit for the things they do well, their talents, their skills, but all they do is bring up all the stuff they don't have or all the stuff that's wrong or whatever, you know. Or
and not appreciate the place where
bill
they
is
at.
coming and, oh, well, listen, fuck them bills. Sometimes fuck them kids, whatever. And, you know, you got to take care of you.
Yeah.
And celebrate you sometimes. So that is a big part of being whole, is just celebrating what it is that you've done.
Right.
So, so there are more affirmations, and I'm not going to give them all to you. Buy the damn book. All right. We're going to work through the...
I gotta pull a leg out.
Right.
Buy the
So,
book, y'all.
you know, each chapter has a page of affirmations that,
Yeah.
you know, you know, whether you need to write these on a Post-it note and put it in front of you on your computer monitor at work or in the bathroom mirror so you can see it. Sometimes you need reminders that you are the shit.
I go to people's houses sometimes. So I ain't gonna say I go to people's houses, but I've been in people's houses where they write on their mirror or they write on, like how you said, on Post-it notes, and they put it there. And because I did, like I say, journaling is different from me. You know what I mean? And this was such a good thing because it was, like you say, a guide to kind of get you started and to reflect on things. So I also felt the same for affirmations or whatever. You know,
That was something new to you as well.
that was exactly, that's something new to me. But it's the same thing like what I just asked you. I was like, oh, did this just make me look fat? Because I sure did gain some weight.
Right.
But if we could do that for how we talk negative and how we talk down about ourselves, why can't we do the same thing?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So,
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, tell yourself you're doing good.
And we have another book coming soon that talks about the support of girlfriends and having good, and you even better if you get your good old gay best friend too. But because sometimes you need that support, and hey, y'all can work through the book together as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? So, you know, this is your life. You can do it the way you want, but each chapter gives you those affirmations, you know, first. It's something that you can regularly, you know, say to yourself, you know, work through. Like I said, jot one of them down and just put it on your monitor at work or whatever. You know what I mean? So
to kind of remind yourself, pulling yourself back into that.
And let me tell you something. There, you know, a misconception about affirmations. You know, they're not spells. You're not casting magic words out there. You know, you still have to work towards it. It's just a kind of a reminder or a visual of kind of where you need to be or whatever, what you're working towards that day.
Yeah.
You know, Jennifer Lewis, who is one of my favorite actresses, you know, she's loud and outspoken. She talks about how she, you know, wakes up every morning, she brushes her teeth and, you know, swishes the mouthwash around in her mouth, spits it out and says, "You a pretty bitch." So, you know, that is an affirmation.
Right.
Okay. You know what I mean? And if you believe the affirmation that you're saying, it will then manifest in your life, and you will work from that position. If you work from a position of this dress make me look fat, then all day long you're gonna be out there in the street. Damn, she just looked over here. What's she looking at?
Yes.
Or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we don't do that. So if we could eliminate some of the negativity and concentrate on either, you know, what positive outcome we want or what positive thing we've already accomplished, then you would be so much better off, right?
That's true.
So the affirmations are one part, and then like you were talking about, the journaling, what we call the soul work in the book. So it'll give you sort of some direction as to what you should be focused on. And I'm just going to read part of this one for attracting love, you know. So it says, and I quote, "Finding love starts with becoming the kind of love you desire." That's something we don't always think about, you know. When we talk about what they're bringing to the table, what are you bringing? Oh, look at you going to fill yours out over there. What are you bringing to the table as well? So begin by showing yourself daily acts of love. Speak kindly to yourself. Honor your body and treat your time like it's sacred, because it is your time. For me, anybody who knows me, time is probably the most important thing because I have so little of it to spare. When you embody love, you naturally become a magnet to people who value and respect your energy. Take time here on these pages. And by the way, aside from this page, it gives you a couple more pages to sort of do some work, right?
Yeah.
Take time here to reflect on past relationships, not with shame, but with clarity. What did you learn about your needs? What your triggers were or desires, right? Write them down. Then set your intention. I attract love that feels like home. Start visualizing that love and then picture how it feels, what it looks like, how it shows up, in the relationship, and be open to receiving it in divine timing. So that's an opportunity for you to sort of expound on that, as I see Hollie did. I ain't gonna have you reading your personal business over here.
I was gonna say, man, this soul work is good for y'all.
I'm afraid.
Jimmy's shaking, y'all.
Afraid. Yes, I'm afraid of what she's gonna say. I'm gonna let her do it too, but you get a couple more pages. But if you want to share parts of what you wrote, you can, or just give us an idea.
I give you guys a once over because I want you guys to go get the book and kind of reflect on what you feel like that you missing. Because I noticed that when I went on ahead and I wrote down mine, it took me a minute. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I got to thinking like, I know what my triggers are, but do I really, really know? You know what I'm saying? Right. And then I just wrote in here, reflecting on my past relationships, whether it was a romantic one or not, I didn't fully understand what my needs were, and I think after so many relationships, it's not until you able to sit with yourself and understand like, okay, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, this is what I did like, and this is what I, want moving forward. Because at the time when you're in those relationships, a person like me, I didn't know what my needs were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't know that. I also put in here.
And depending on how you saw relationships growing up as a child, there's some things that you may have thought were normal. That ain't normal.
Yeah, and that's what I put in, like, going into the second one. Some of my triggers range from childhood. Now people talk to me and, why I'm defensive, how I express myself. And, I'm going to get emotional.
Oh,
it's because I'm pregnant, but yeah. So.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I'm lying.
I'm like, wait, excuse me? Oh.
Just a little bait for y'all.
Right.
Support y'all baby mama and get the book.
Lord.
But no, it definitely gave me a good guidance of actually when I wrote it out, I was able to see the breakdown. Like, oh, okay. So
that root, I'm telling you, sometimes you don't make the connection to what really in your life, because sometimes, when it comes to a money issue, what was your first real memory of money? You know what I mean? Or what was, with love, what did you see growing up? Or what now can you say is something that you're looking for based on all the things that didn't work in your past and so on. So, getting back to that root, though, helps you with that so much. I saw my mama getting hit upside her head by a man, so I just assumed that's how love works. It ain't. It ain't. Hit me. Shit. Hit me, dare you. So, because let me tell you, I am the nicest person you want to meet. Most loving, will give you the shirt off my back. But I'll whoop your ass. You trying to beat on me? What? So, anyway. Oh, I said I wasn't going to cuss.
It's okay. We lie. Yeah. We lie sometimes.
Yeah, so.
But we ain't lying about this work.
So, yeah, and it continues on, like, each chapter then gives you more questions to sort of, again, direct that energy so that you so you're just not left out on your own trying to figure things out. And then, like I said, imagine doing this with a group. Get a good group of girlfriends or whatever, and
Well, I
you're
didn't think
working through
about
this
that.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, listen, we can't, when we are improving ourselves, we can't be gatekeepers and lock people out,
Right.
Hey, I want to bring somebody with. That was the whole point of us doing the book in the first place, was to help bring people on the journey. So, create your own little community around it. And
Go get y'all book. Come back. We're going to work through this.
yep, absolutely. So,
Be honest, too.
yeah.
Because I
What's
realize
the point if you don't? If
Yeah.
you're not being honest, what's the point? Who you can lie to your friends, even though when we grown, I don't know why we doing that. But you can lie to other people, but you still know the truth. And if you believe in God, He know the truth, right? So what is it for? But let me tell you something about lying. I don't like liars. I'm from that old school of, if you lie, you'll cheat. If you cheat, you'll steal. And if you steal, you'll kill. So I want you away from me at the first lie. But put simpler than that, what I got to lie to you for? I always said, unless I could, if I owe you money, or if we sleeping together and I'm doing something stupid. It sounded like I said stupid. But otherwise, what I got to lie to you for?
Right.
I'm grown as hell. I will be 48 in a minute. What I got to lie to you for? You gonna whoop my ass? No,
Sure
we've
ain't.
established that. I told you I will beat your ass.
West Side?
So West Side, Chicago, all day long, K-Town, and is. So you're not gonna beat my ass now. And let me say this, because I'm not gonna act like I'm the biggest, baddest person out here. What I mean by that is, I'm not gonna take no ass whooping. You might be able to whoop my butt. I might be able to whoop yours. But I know one thing, we'll be out here all day trying to find out, because I'm not just going to sit there and take one.
Exactly.
So, but what do I have to lie to you for when we grown? So that's something for kids, okay? Tricks are for kids, baby. Tricks are for kids. So you have to be honest with yourself as you're doing this. And you don't, even if you're working within a group, just to give you maybe some guidelines and parameters for that, that doesn't mean you have to sit here and, read each other's responses or say them out loud or whatever. You could do kind of like what Hollie did, hey, it taught me to look back at this, or it helped me to realize, that I had this trigger and didn't realize it before, or whatever the case may be.
Get it with your partner too, because y'all might be able to work through some issues that you didn't. Maybe that's why you'll figure out, oh, this is why this person does this. This is why this person.
Maybe you need to buy 2 of these books.
And it'll help you move forward to be able to understand your partner better.
Absolutely.
Or your friend better, like you said, if you do it in a group.
Yep.
And then you know how to handle that person moving forward.
Absolutely. Oh, yes, indeed. So
Clock it.
That part. So, but yeah, so I think that, as you kind of work through this, if you're working with somebody, I think that would be great. Like you said, you at least get an understanding of where they're coming from, and it'll bring the two of you close together, whether this is a friend or a romantic relationship. So, So after that, these books, it repeats that, and it kind of tells you what you should be walking away with.
Right.
In this regard, right? So for finding love. So finding love is like tending a garden. Me and my damn garden rep. So you already know I wrote that part. Finding love is like tending a garden. Before the flowers of partnership bloom, the soil of your self-worth must be rich and nourished. Let me tell you something about gardening. You need rich soil for the prettier flowers, right? So that's you here in this case, right? So these affirmations teach you to speak love into your life by believing you are already worthy of it. Not that you'll be good once you get a man, or you'll be good once you get a woman. No, you're already worthy of it.
Yeah.
These affirmations also prepare you to meet someone who complements your wholeness, not completes you. So you are not a void that's waiting to be filled. You are already complete. So and they're just adding to your greatness. So, so again, that's what we're talking about. So to answer that question, well, that's for you to answer. Are you waiting on somebody to complete you? Let me tell you what your answer should be. No. All right. I am already whole and deserving of love. So we go
You
from
looked me in
that
my eye
premise.
so nice when you said that.
Aw.
Hold my hand and say that again.
No, I don't want to because my hand is ashy.
It's okay.
Okay, you
I'm
all right?
moist.
All right.
I'm real
I
moist.
forgot what I said now.
You see?
What did I say?
See,
You're
I said
already-
I was moist, and you said you.
Oh my God, get your damn hand off me. Oh
you
my
forgot.
God.
I told Jimmy I was moist, y'all, and he forgot everything he was gonna say.
I had a friend who just hated people saying the word moist. So you know a word I used to say all the time, be like moist. But anyway, but no, we won't keep you guys and prolong this episode any further.
Yes.
Like I said, we're just excited to be back. Excited to be able to bring you this good work. Speak life and live full. We have to work on ourselves. It's that time. If you have some shortcomings, and again, whether it's romantic or not, let me tell you, they are going to play into your romantic life. They are going to find their way into it. So that's why, and I'm not just trying to hawk books over here. I'm just saying,
I
it's
am.
time
Get
to
a close up on my titty. Excuse me. You guys want these books? It's a good shot of my leg right here. Don't listen to Jimmy. It's gonna help you.
Oh, I hope your husband ain't got the camera on you.
Go ahead, Jimmy. This what they need. Y'all need this right here.
Y'all see what I have to deal with. Anywho, so what I was saying is that we're not just trying to sell books. It really is about this work. And obviously we don't go into complete detail on every episode here, but we will touch on this book quite a bit. So, like I said, it's on Amazon.com. Speak Life and Live Full is the name of the book. So again, affirmations and soul work for leveling up in life. That is the name of the book. So I'd like to thank you, Hollie. Welcome back, girl.
Yes, thank you.
So did you miss sitting on the green velvet couch?
I did. It feel good.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I am so glad to have you back. So everybody, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast wherever you are listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, we do have a brand new UnDateable Me Podcast page dedicated just to the podcast. So it is simply named UnDateable Me Podcast. So look it up and find it. And we cannot wait to sort of continue this journey, this soul work that we're doing this year. So
we're going to get into some things.
Right. And then if you want to check out some of the other books over there, Girl Don't Be No Fool, or Shea Butter and Paper Cuts. Shea Butter and Paper Cuts is good, y'all. So if you're a black professional working out here in corporate America or in offices and all of that, you need that book.
I think we need to get some. Yeah, I think that we need some story times with those.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd be surprised.
Yes, that part. So, and we'll touch on that too, because like I said, any aspect of your life of self-improvement and all of that is going to impact even what we talk about on this channel, which is primarily, love and relationships and all of that. But, let me tell you, I think by now you could tell that we give some nice little life lessons over here.
We doing
it's
all right.
not just, how to get a man or this or whatever, but self-improvement is what we're all about. So, all right, well, Hollie, that is it for this week's episode. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next episode.
See y'all next time. Go get the book.
All right.
Amazon.
Hollie, you ain't gonna take off your wig or nothing, are you?
No, but speak life and live full.
Oh, okay.
I see you hanging around, but I don't have much to say to you.